It's time to move on.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy. So the Ahsoka finale was not at all what I expected. I mean, I have so many questions, like what's going on with Baylan on Peridea? What's going on with Shin Hati? And what the heck is this giant force god pointing at?
Yeah, talk about a cliffhanger.
Good one, high five. And by the way, everybody, I just want to thank you for watching this video, supporting the channel, and for checking out our brand new merch store where me and the ScreenCrush team designed the shirts ourselves. We have lots of awesome Ahsoka designs like this Master and Apprentice family tree, The Apprentice Lives, the Hello There, Say No to Death Sticks, Go Home and Rethink Your Life, and brand new Loki designs like Doug as Loki and this usual variant shirt, and many, many more. Checking out our merch store is the best way for you to directly support our channel. Okay, so we know that we've got Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie coming out relatively soon, I think 2026, and that movie promises to be a culmination film bringing together all of these shows like The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and more. Now, it's pretty clear to me that this movie is going to be an adaptation of Heir to the Empire. Now, Heir to the Empire was a Star Wars Legend trilogy of novels that featured the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn to the main Star Wars galaxy as he wages war on the New Republic. Sound familiar? Now, the novels take place just 5 years after the Battle of Endor, and we saw Luke, Han, and Leia stand off against Thrawn. And I think that we will see them in this movie as well, but they won't be the main heroes. I think we'll see Ahsoka, Din Djarin, Grogu, the Rebels crew, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, etc. all team up to take on Thrawn's invasion of the Outer Rim. And we've actually got a great video up on the channel right now breaking down what this Heir to the Empire movie would look like, so be sure to check that out. Oh, by the way, man, I missed you. Where did you end up watching the finale to Ahsoka?
Oh, well, I had a little backyard movie night, just a cinema under the stars.
Oh, cool. Did you use the new projector?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Oh, what new projector are you talking about?
Oh, well, we've been using this incredible Mars 3 projector from Nebula. They're the sponsor of this video. This is by far the best projector I have ever owned. It uses 1000 ANSI lumens, bright enough for up to a 200-inch screen or a 6x14 movie screen. Plus, it uses AI technology to automatically adjust the screen size. No more screwing around with the manual settings. These Nebula projectors are all-in-one with Android TV 10.0. You can download more than 7,000 apps, including Netflix, YouTube, Disney+, you name it. You don't even need to use these HDMI inputs. It's like carrying a smart TV wherever you go. In fact, the ultra-long-lasting battery supports up to 5 hours of playtime or can run as a speaker for 15 hours. You can even use it to charge your phone if you go camping. And that's what I really love about this projector. It is great for the outdoors. It is IPX3 water resistant, 0.5 meter drop resistant, 0.7 millimeter dust resistant, and even comes with a built-in stand. Plus, the sound is amazing with a 3-direction 40-watt speaker and Dolby Digital Plus. So this stunning all-in-one projector really is a must-have for movie fans. Click our link in the description to get yours today. Now, back to Ahsoka. Now, originally, I thought this season of Ahsoka would lead straight into Filoni's culmination film, and that The Mandalorian Season 4 would come out in between the two projects. But with that literal cliffhanger we saw in the Ahsoka finale, now I think it's likely we'll see Season 2 of Ahsoka before the Heir to the Empire film. And that is so exciting because Ahsoka Season 1 wasn't even really an Ahsoka series. It was Rebels Season 5. So hopefully a second season will give us a little more time with Ahsoka. Okay, so let's talk about everything that we think will be revealed in the second season of Ahsoka and how it will all play into the Heir to the Empire movie and maybe even
somehow Palpatine returned.
So first, let's talk about these Force gods carved into the side of this mountain. These are the Mortis gods.
Okay, wait, now that sounds familiar.
Right, so the Mortis gods are these 3 super powerful Force beings. We've got the Father, the Son, and
the Holy Ghost?
Nope. No. The Father, the Son, and the Daughter. The Father is meant to represent the balance of the Force, while the Daughter and the Son represent the light and the dark sides of the Force, respectively. Now, we don't have time to do a full recap of the 3-part Mortis arc from the Clone Wars, but in short, they all died. But the spirit of the sister still lives on within Ahsoka. So in essence, the light side of the Force lives on inside of Ahsoka, and I think that is going to play a major part in the second season and Ahsoka's fight with the dark side on Peridea. So in this shot, we can see that the statue of the Father is pointing to something, and then out in the distance, we can see what appears to be either a mountain or a temple, and on top of that, we can see a glowing flame. Now, we've actually seen a structure very similar to this before in the Mortis Gods arc and the Clone Wars. Here, we can see Anakin looking out at a very similar temple, and this temple belonged to the Father. So I believe that the Father statue is pointing to the Father's original temple on the planet of Peridea. But now that temple is serving as a holding cell for a very dangerous dark side entity, but more on that in just a second. So in the Clone Wars, the Mortis gods reside in a realm called Mortis. It's a mystical realm that exists in another dimension of sorts. But in Legends, we learned that the Mortis gods didn't always reside in this Mortis realm. They once resided on a planet and were served and taken care of by a mortal woman. woman. This woman became known as the Mother.
I'm your mother!
The Mother feared death and feared no longer being with her family, and she was also afraid that they would eventually forget her. This fear led to her drinking from something called the Font of Power. It's like a dark side fountain. She also bathed in a pool of knowledge, both of which were forbidden to her. So this led to her becoming the immortal god that she desired to be, but it also corrupted her and transformed her into a very powerful and chaotic dark side being.
Oh my god, is this her? She is terrifying.
Yep, that's the Mother, also known as Aboleth. Aboleth became so corrupted and dangerous that the Mortis gods had no choice but to imprison her and flee the planet. And I think that planet was none other than Peridia.
This is a land of dreams and madness. Children's stories come to life.
Now, throughout the first season of Ahsoka, we talked a lot about who the ancient beings on Peridia could be. We theorized that an ancient race of aliens called the Zepho could be involved.
Or the Zephyr, like the Marx brothers.
Nope. The Zepho were an ancient alien race of Force users who were corrupted by the dark side of the Force and fled the main Star Wars galaxy. They also have a very close connection to the Night Sisters of Dathomir. There was a powerful dark side wielding Zepho called Kujet who actually had a temple on the planet of Dathomir. And we actually saw Kujet's name written in Sith runes on the Night Sister temple on Peridia. This temple also had Zepho runes that you can see here directly behind Thrawn. So our theory is that a long time ago, the Mortis gods lived on Peridia, and many different species such as the Zepho traveled to Peridia to learn about the Force. But something terrible happened and the kingdom was destroyed. Many people were killed and the Mortis gods fled this unnamed planet. That terrible something was the unleashing of the Aboleth, and I believe that the unnamed planet was Peridia. It's kind of like how in the Bible, God once interacted with man and made himself known. But after Eve ate the forbidden tree of knowledge, sin was introduced into the world and God left man to have their own free will. Eve eating from the tree of knowledge is similar to how the Mother drank from the dark side fountain and bathed in the pool of knowledge, both of which were forbidden by the gods. Like how Adam and Eve's actions released sin into the world, the Mother's actions released the dark side chaos onto Peridia. After the Mother transformed into this chaotic dark side being, the Mortis gods imprisoned her in between two black holes, otherwise known as the Maw. Perhaps this palace where the Aboleth is contained can only be accessed via a portal that's inside of this temple.
A portal, like the World Between Worlds place where we saw Anakin?
Yes, exactly. The World Between Worlds is this place that seemingly exists outside of time and space. We were first introduced to this realm in Star Wars Rebels. We see Ezra in the Jedi Temple of Lothal, and in this mural we see the Mortis gods. We then see Ezra enter the World Between Worlds via what can best be described as a Force portal. Once Ezra enters this World Between Worlds, we can see the Loth Wolves on this ring surrounding the portal he came through, which makes sense because this portal is located on planet Lothal, home of the Loth Wolves. Now when we see Ahsoka through this portal, she is at the Sith Temple on Malachor, and this portal is shaped like a triangle and has triangular symbols around it, mirroring the pyramid shape of the Malachor Sith Temple. The point being, once you're in the World Between Worlds, the various portals have symbols around them that correlate with the place the portal leads to. It would appear that every portal in the World Between Worlds leads to a Force temple, whether they be Jedi temples, Sith temples, or other Force user temples like a Zepho temple or a Night Sister temple. On this portal, we can see what looks like Zepho heads surrounding this portal ring, as well as what we now recognize as Howlers, like the creatures we meet on the planet of Peridia. Props to MT over at Heavy Spoilers for that really cool observation. So this portal that Ezra walks by likely leads to the temple on Peridia. Now originally, I thought it might be a portal to the Zepho/Night Sister temple we saw destroyed in the season finale, but maybe it's a portal to this temple being pointed at by the statue of the Father. Or, with Peridia being a very Force-centric planet, it could have many portals to the World Between Worlds and various temples throughout the planet. Now, there were many clues throughout the Ahsoka series that we'd be seeing the World Between Worlds, such as the Purgle star wells surrounding this circle on this ancient map to Peridia, very similar to the World Between Worlds portals. In fact, we have talked before about how the World Between Worlds portals could just be Force user hyperspace lanes, and these ancient hyperspace maps are actually based on the World Between Worlds. Force-sensitive creatures like the Purgle and the Loth Wolves are able to travel through hyperspace without need of a spacecraft. So perhaps ancient Force users, with the assistance of the Mortis gods, created this realm of the World Between Worlds to allow travel between various Force hotspots throughout the universe.
Yeah, but I thought the World Between Worlds had to do with time travel.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Dave Filoni said that it's not time travel, but we've seen Ezra reach back in time to save Ahsoka from Vader.
Ahsoka!
And Ezra was also able to look through a portal back in time and see when his master, Kanan Jarrus, died.
Kanan gave his life so that you could live. If he's taken out of this moment, you all die.
But according to Filoni, you can't change the past unless you were always destined to change the past. So I'm telling you all of this because I think the aboleth could be imprisoned in the world between worlds. In legend, she is said to be trapped between two black holes. So maybe she is trapped between two portals in this other realm outside of time and space. But that realm could be entered via a portal in this temple. And like we've theorized before, I think that Baylan is in search of knowledge on how to control the world between worlds. Knowledge that he can only obtain from the last living Mortis god, the Mother. Baylan seeks to bring about a new beginning.
What I seek is the beginning, so I may finally bring this cycle to an end.
This is connected to the Norse origins of he and Shin's character names and their connection to Ragnarok. Ragnarok being the end of the world and the beginning of a new one.
So this is connected to Loki.
No, it's not. But we are covering the Loki series and have some fun Loki and Ahsoka merch at our merch store, ScreenCrushmerch.com. Check it out.
You sell out.
What?
Nothing. So the aboleth, huh?
Yeah, so the Stupendous Wave here on YouTube pointed out that in Legends, Aboleth wanted to basically destroy everything and cause the apocalypse so she could recreate the universe to her own liking, which is also what it sounds like Baylan is wanting to do. So that's why we believe that it's the Aboleth who is calling to Baylan on Peridia. Now in Legends, it was also said that the Aboleth had the ability to possess people.
Is she gonna possess Baylan?
I don't think so. I think she's going to possess Shin. Baylan and Shin went their separate ways toward the end of the season. Baylan felt that Shin's ambitions were different from his own.
Your ambition drives you in one direction. My path lies in another.
But with Shin staying behind on Peridia, I think it's possible that she finally heard the same calling as Baylan, and Shin Hati could be the vessel in which the Aboleth wreaks havoc on the galaxy, giving Shin the power that she always desired. And a quick side note about the Night Sisters. I think it could be revealed that their dark magic in connection to what they call the Threads of Fate,
the thread of fate has spoken to us.
I think that could all be stemming from the Aboleth. The Night Sister witches could be loyal followers to this ancient dark side being, and they could have been feeding off her powers for a millennia. In fact, it makes sense that a coven of Force women would serve a female Mortis god. But now, with the Mortis gods being dead, perhaps these witches know that the chains binding the Aboleth will soon break, and even they fear the chaos and destruction that she would bring.
Perhaps they flee a power greater than their own.
Now, in Legends, the Aboleth was inadvertently released by the character Jacen Solo, the son of Han and Leia. Now, Jacen doesn't exist in canon, but there are similarities between him and Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo. Once awakened by Jacen, she wreaked havoc on the Star Wars galaxy, but was eventually defeated by Luke Skywalker. So, maybe we'll get to see something similar go down in the Heir to the Empire movie. Getting to see Shin Hati possessed by the Aboleth and causing mass destruction to the galaxy, causing trouble not only for the New Republic, but also for Thrawn would be awesome. And then hopefully we'd get to see Shin be able to overcome the Aboleth's possession and help our heroes defeat her once and for all. Now, we've all seen demonic possession movies, and we know that once the demon is cast out, they're never really gone. So even if the Aboleth is seemingly defeated and Shin is set free, I think her spirit will remain present in the Star Wars galaxy. In Legends, even Luke said that after defeating the Aboleth, that he still feared she could return. So maybe after her defeat and the loss of her vessel in Shin Hati, we could see her retreat to the Outer Rim.
Don't say it.
To a planet that is strong in the dark side of the Force.
Please don't say it.
And maybe the Aboleth will have to play a role in...
For the love of all that is good and fun, please don't say it.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So let us know, do you think the Aboleth is what's calling to Baylan on Peridia? Do you think it's something else? Do you think that it's going to play a role in Palpatine returning? Special shout out to the writer of this video, Colton Ogburn. Let us know your thoughts on either of our social medias, or just tell us in the comments below. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.